Southeast Calgary. We got the second half of a back-to-back doubleheader right here coming up for you in just a few minutes between the visiting 2-4 Lakeland Rustlers and the 1-3 SAIT Trojans. Both teams desperately needing a win here to get back into the playoff race. My name is Brett Lipkowski, and today I am joined once again by Brendan Donald. Brendan, we saw the Trojans get swept in straight sets by the Lakeland Rustlers women's earlier tonight. What are we going to see, you think, here tonight between these two teams?
Well, we have two pretty evenly matched teams here. That first game that we saw earlier tonight, unfortunately, that was just a powerhouse team, just on their best form. And when it was miraculous what we saw out there. These two teams, both of them, they're not as high as they would like to be. They're both looking for that next win. And this is a good opportunity for both of them to start building some momentum into the season and trying to get a little bit higher in the standings.
Yeah, both teams made the playoffs last year, but did not go very far, losing in the second round. And both teams this year currently sitting outside of the playoffs, with the Rustlers currently in 5th in the North Division, while the SAIT Trojans dead last in 7th place in the South at 1-3. It has been a difficult start to the season up to this point. Losing to Medicine Hat last time they were out here a couple weeks ago. But both teams kind of struggling in different areas and have also had some strengths in different areas. But defense has been one area where both teams have been very strong, especially the SAIT Trojans, at the net, especially with blocks. 2nd and 3rd in blocks per set between both of these teams so far in the ACC.
Yeah, and one thing that I always like to say, defense wins championships. And you know, sometimes when you're trying to get your offense a little bit figured out here, having a really good defense, once you start to get stuff moving and you start to get that offense working a little bit, and if you already have that really good defense, that's just a bonus thing to have. So for the Trojans, they just need to start getting that offensive to click just a little bit better, because obviously that defense, number 2, really, really good looking.
Absolutely, both of these teams here really kind of have been a team that neither of these teams have one star player. They've been teams that have been very well-run machines. They kind of run by committee. Everyone kind of gets their hands into things right now. But I think we're going to send it down to our PA announcer, Ethan Montague, who's going to have the starting lineups for both teams here, and then we're going to head on over to the national anthems. before the beginning of the first set. Players to watch tonight, for me, for the SAIT Trojans, it's got to be number 16, Logan Williams, currently leading the ACAC with 11 aces. I got to see him last time they played against Medicine Hat. He was an absolute beast at the service line. Brendan, who are we looking at today for the Rustlers?
For me, it's got to be number 16, Gustavo Lobato, fifth-year player out of Brazil, performing fairly good this year, just doing an absolute stellar job for the Rustlers.
Yeah, 47 kills on the season so far. A great season. One of 3 international players on this Lakeland team. You know, we were looking at the difference in the rosters earlier. Now we see a lot of Calgary-based players, Airdrie, kind of that area here for the SAIT Trojans. But this Lakeland team, they are from all over: Manitoba, Alberta, Saskatchewan. We got a player from Brazil, Lobato, like you mentioned. We got Zion Lang from Auckland, New Zealand, and we have Bjorkus from Norway. So a very international team, this Lakeland Rustlers squad.
Yeah, that's not something that you typically see, especially with some of these smaller town cities.
And that's going to be Mason Short, number 13 for the Rustlers, getting the opening point of the match.
Definitely looking for both teams early in this game, see how they're going to communicate on the defensive side of things. Like what we said early on, both teams fairly good defensively here.
And Nelson gets up for the big denial on 6'7" Spencer Locks, who just kind of whiffed on that kill attempt.
Yeah, at 6'7", you're not going to be missing a lot of those, and just on that particular occasion, just did.
SAIT going to need to use their height advantage in this one. Lots of players with a huge frame, one of them being Ryan Zachary, who gets up for the kill off the hands.
Yeah, 6'5" Ryan Zachary, again, exactly what you're saying. They have that height advantage, and you definitely want to use that.
Zachary, the team leader in kills with 20 heading into this one, but not far behind were both Pierce Toll and Logan Williams with 18 apiece. So like we've said, this team definitely getting its points from all over the place. And there's another huge serve from Williams, picking up right where he left off last week.
Yeah, Logan Williams, a little bit more of a modest height here of 6'1", which, you know, for us looking at it, it's like all these guys, big boys out here. Obviously, we have Spencer Lucas, 6'7", which just a behemoth of a man.
That is going to be Logan Williams' 12th ace of the season. There's another one that's going to go over the net and put away by Jackson Tice. And after giving up the first 2, SAIT responds with 3 in a row.
Yeah, and by Jackson, that was absolutely just a beautiful hit. Put that where no one could get it.
A strong serve from Williams, and the Rustlers unable to control it, sending it back over the net for just a free put away from Tice, who was his eyes lit up at the sight of that one. Williams goes way off speed, and it works out, as that is going to be another point. Logan Williams, a serving machine.
Yeah, and what we saw in that first serve from him, put a lot of power on it. Did the same thing for the second. Now on this third one, just puts a little bit of touch on there, switching it up, showing that he has a lot of range.
Love the ability to go off speed like that and keep this Rustlers team guessing. A little bit of confusion here with the scoreboard. I think they have the scores backwards. It should be 3-2 in favor of the Trojans, but as we see on the board, it's actually the other way around right now. Just getting the the early mistakes out of the way for our scoring squad. You know, we're all
human.
We're all human.
Yep.
We all make mistakes here.
And you know, not to necessarily blame that it wasn't technology's fault. Still having a little bit of a conversation here, but yeah, Logan Williams, those first couple of serves were just great ability to show a little bit of a switch up there. As we see, it's now 4-2.
Yeah, I think that was the issue, that it was 4-2, not 3-2.
Yeah.
Williams with another huge serve, and he paints the line. Williams with another ace, and oh my God, this man is a specialist behind the line.
Lakeland, their players, they were absolutely moving away from that, going, we are not touching that, perfectly in the corner. You cannot get a better serve than that.
The man is on fire with his serve, and there's another good one. This time it is controlled. Sent out that far side, Lobato able to find that open space, and a beautifully worked play by the Brazilian, throwing it down into the back corner, and unable to get onto the end of that one was Williams to keep it alive.
Yeah, Zachary just not able to quite get that. That was a tough save for him to make there, but yeah, great job by Lobato there to get that in there, make it a really challenging opportunity for Zachary.
Blight now with the serve. Karios going to get in front of that one. Behind to Zachary. Sends it down for the point.
Yeah, Willick just not able to get the angle on that one from Zachary, and or Williams, excuse me. But yeah, great job there.
Great job going off speed, and now it's going to be the big man, Spencer Locks. 6'7" with the serve. The lefty gets the friendly kiss off the net. Just squeaks over and drops. Nothing the Rustlers can do there. 7-3 in favor of the Trojans. It's going to be an early timeout from Coach Taylor Dyer of the Rustlers.
Yeah, and you know, when you have a big man serving to you, he can do a lot of different things. He can put it exactly where it needs to. Got a little bit of a friendly bounce there for sure, but you know, he can come in with speed, power, and you know what, he can do a little bit of a changeup as well.
Yeah, and absolutely, and when you have that kind of height, you can get up so high, and you can just throw it downwards with that angle. And I mean, to hit it that hard, you're more than likely gonna get a little bit of a friendly roll off that net when you're able to hit it with that much power.
Yeah, well, being 6'7", you don't have to jump too high, but boy, he's getting off the ground, getting up there, and dang near 10 feet up in the air serving that ball from. That's a tough situation to deal with.
Yeah, not only is he 6'7", but that man's wingspan is ridiculous.
Yeah, so from the 10 feet that I say, maybe even make that 12, 13, potentially even 15 feet up in the air, which can be very deceptive for the opponents to try to deal with.
Absolutely. We are coming out of this timeout. Locked back on serve. Trojans up 4 here early in the first set.
Very good communication, very good defensive by the SAIT Trojans.
Well controlled. It's going to go back to Lobato. Off the hands of Florek and out for Rustlers' point as they get one back, which they desperately needed to cut the lead to 3.
Yeah, that was a good opportunity to get slightly back into this, kill a little bit of that momentum the SAIT Trojans were building. Obviously, those serves by Williamson were just phenomenal. And unfortunately, Lakeland just not able to capitalize on the opportunity, going right into the net, and that's something that you have to hate.
Yeah, the 5th year from Brazil, sending that one into the net. And a service error by the Rustlers, giving possession back to SAIT, and it is going to be Zachary now with the big serve. And he sends it just long, trying to paint that back line.
Yeah, and luckily for Lakeland, they kind of got this gift of not being able to, they had a little bit of an error, but they were able to get that back, obviously to a SAIT error.
Serve now coming from Nelson. Florek denied at the net. Chance now the other way. Karios with a dig. Sent to this near side. Tice off some hands, but it's kept alive once again. Lobato sends it towards the net. It's blocked at the net by Florek, but out of play. And the Rustlers make it 2 in a row and cut the lead now down to 2.
Yeah, that was a great job defensively by both teams, both playing the net really, really well there. Nelson now back on the serve.
Pelachatti goes near side. Tice off the hands and out for a Trojans point.
Again, both teams doing a really, really good job right at the net, putting a lot of pressure on the opposing side.
Willick back in for Nelson here to receive this serve. It's going to be Jackson Tice. The 3rd-year man from Edmonton. Throws it up way up in the air. And that one eats up Willick and straight up into the rafters. And that's going to be an ace. And the Trojans bench loves it. I can see number 14, Charlie Cran, doing some push-ups there.
You know, a lot of the Trojan players have been going down there, and it almost feels like once they have their guy do it, but he's like, all right, well, you have to give me some.
This Trojans men's volleyball team loves to get stoked for their teammates. And this time, Tice sends that one well wide.
It's always good to see a lot of energy from the bench as well. The guys necessarily aren't in the field of play, but they can definitely have some effect here in this game.
Yeah, but as the great Bob Uecker once said, on that serve, just a bit outside. But luckily there for the Trojans, the Rustlers give it right back with a service error of their own.
Yeah, and that's something that you don't want to have happen, especially when you're behind on the scoreboard, to give it right back, because it almost makes that point that you got from that error kind of mute.
Florek with the serve. The Trojans with the big denial, and it's Jackson Pellicciati getting up for the denial. The setter, a huge presence at the net here. Florek now from Wrocław, Poland with the serve. Sent back, down the line, and well wide. And the Trojans pick up another one.
Yeah, Montgraham just not able to quite get that inbounds there. Came in with some heat, but yeah, just unfortunate, just couldn't quite get the right angle.
Florek's serve goes a little bit off speed and hits the net.
Yeah, unfortunately there for Florek, just not able to get that.
It's going to be Jones now on serve here for the Rustlers. Trojans bench trying to heckle him. And it's Williams with the big put away. Beautifully worked volleyball by the Trojans.
Great kill there.
Logan Williams has, after a rough opening game for this Trojans team, the man has been an absolute beast on both sides of the ball. And now it's Pellicciati. Set up here, going through the middle, denied at the net by Locks, second chance. They go near side, and Short this time is able to get the put away and the point on the kill.
Yeah, Short doing just a great job. Again, Locks, that 6-7 frame, that's gonna be hard to get over top, and you know what? They decided to move away from him, go to the opposite side, get that opportunity. Good kill there.
Tice controls that serve. They go through the middle. Far side. Williams off the hands. Rustlers now the other way. They go far side. Labato up and over, kept alive by Pellicciati. Williams now. Oh, it takes a friendly bounce off the top of the net for the Rustlers, and Zachary unable to control off of the weird carom it took off the top of the net.
Yeah, Zachary looked there like he was a little bit uncertain to go for it, but unfortunately just for him, he was right underneath it, so he had no choice.
Yeah, bounced off the net, off his shoulder, just nothing he could do there. Mayer now with the serve. Pellicciati goes middle. Locks fans on the kill, and it's gonna sail wide.
It almost looked like he was trying to fake that fan, but just definitely got a little bit away from him there.
Pellicciati and Locks just trying to get that give and go combination working right now. Pellicciati goes far side. Zachary denied at the net. Karios now, second chance. Tice, nice defense by the Rustlers. Zachary goes off speed, not gonna beat this Rustlers team on that one. Big save by Tice. What a rally we've got going on. And Labato able to get the put away and the point, cutting the Trojans lead to just 2.
On that last Trojans kill there, Lakeland looked a little bit upset that they thought it was potentially going to go out of bounds there, but ultimately worked out in their favor.
Coach Sunius now has to take a timeout and try to calm down this Trojans team, as they've now dropped 4 straight points, and what was a very comfortable 6-point lead is dropped down to 2.
Yeah, you know what? This is a perfectly timed timeout here. Obviously, exactly what you're saying there. You know, you just need to get the boys calmed down a little bit, cool down the momentum, allow them to try to get back, and yeah, right now, so far it's been a very, very good competitive game. Both sides doing really good job defensively, and this looks like it's going to be really competitive throughout the night.
Yeah, this Rustlers team really desperate to get back in the win column. As we said, sitting currently at 2 and 4, 5th place in the North Division, just sitting outside the playoffs. But they are currently on a 4-game losing streak, having lost back-to-back to both Nate and Keanu. So a win here against a Southern Division team that they're not familiar with would be big for them to get back in that playoff.
Yeah, especially when you've had opened up the year with 2 wins. You feel like you're going to be on a really high note, and then you end up dropping your next 4. That's not exactly what you want to have happen. And coming in here against a team that currently is sitting at the bottom of the Southern Division, this is where you start to get that hope and a little bit more momentum back to try to really get back into the season.
They are here on quite the run on serve. Gonna keep this one going. Pellichatti goes far side. Williams never gonna win that one as he sends that one well wide. It looked like he was kind of looking to play it off the hands there.
Yeah, it looks like he might have just hit it a little bit off angle there on his own hand, and it just got away from him. Bear just doing such a good job on the serves.
This time Ryan Zachary gets way up in the air, straight down. Trojans gain a little bit of momentum back as they are able to get the lead back up to 2. 15-13 here in the first set.
They really needed that.
Williams back on serve. He is SAIT's service specialist. Meeting at the net, Tice just throws it down. Second chance. He's able to find the line, and that will be a point for the Trojans.
Great little switch up there, going from a little bit of touch and then to go into a massive amount of power there. And you know what? He caught Lakeland a little bit off guard.
You see, even when Logan is able to, with his serve, even when Lakeland's able to get underneath it, it's so much power. It ends up going back onto SAIT's side of half, and they're able to get a free opportunity. But that time, it just hits the top of the net, straight down. And a bit of the commentator's curse there hits us finally here tonight.
Yeah, we've actually been pretty good at not doing that so far today. We knew it was going to come back to bite us at some point, but didn't expect it to happen right there.
Got the 4th-year student now, Lane Blight, to take the serve. Pellichatti goes back to Tice, and he sends it down hard for the brilliant point.
Tice, wow, just wow, that was power. What a kill right there.
Only Jackson's second match of the season. He missed the back-to-back against Medicine Hat. He struggled in that opening game of the season, but against Lethbridge, but my goodness, is he looking really sharp tonight. Lobato off the net and out. It will be a point for the Rustlers as it goes off the hands of Tice. Carrio's gonna check back in as that lead is back down to 2, 17-15 in the first.
Nice, beautiful competitive matchup that we have here tonight.
Huge serve and a nice dig by Tice. He's gonna get the chance the other way.
Yeah, he had to work for that one.
And that one goes long, and the point goes the way of the Trojans, back up to a 3-point lead.
Yeah, Carrio's making a phenomenal dig there. His forearm's got to be stinging on that one.
He's been doing it all season, second in the ACAC in digs per set. Carrios is an absolute rock for this team on the defensive side. Zachary with the big serve.
Just a little bit too much heat there, just a little bit out of bounds, and that's a frustrating one, especially after that great, phenomenal last rally there.
Zachary has he's struggled with his serve in this season so far. I've seen that he's had a lot of serves where he's trying to paint that back line, but they're just sailing along, and his opponents have been letting it go. We got number 3 now, Gabriel Bjorkas from Norway now into the match. He's gonna take the serve. And that's a good one, but Tice controls. Pellichatti throws it down, but it is going to be ruled, I believe, a carry on the play, and the point is gonna go to Lakeland, who's now cut the lead down to 1.
Yeah, Bjorkas, that serve, it wasn't necessarily the fastest, but it came in and it looked like it had just a lot of power on it.
The man from near Norway with another beautiful power serve, eating up Carrios, who did a good job to get it, but it sails all the way up into the rafters, and that's gonna be another ace. And this is suddenly a tie set at 18 all.
that just shows you how powerful his serves are, that even when you get that dig, it goes still with so much speed up into the roof.
And another brilliant save, this time by Pellicciati, sent over, free ball. Good save by Williams, kept alive by Pellicciati. Zachary just got to throw it over.
Smart decision there not to go with too much heat, just get it over there.
Great rally here. This time Tice denied at the net by Aiden Mayer, who picks up the point. And for the first time since 2-0 in this set, it is a lead for Lakeland, 19-18 here in the opening set.
Yeah, what can you say? This has been an absolute battle by both teams, just going back and forth. No real team has had the momentum. This has been a very in-the-middle game. But yeah, Bjorkis, you can tell on his serves, he just has power.
And like the decision by Coach Dyer to bring in Bjorkis specifically to serve has paid off huge for the Lakeland Rustlers here in the opening set. You know, they were down as many as 6 at one point. They were able to cut into that lead, get it back to 2. They've been hanging around, but now making that move, bringing in the big Norwegian, and he's been on an absolute heater on serve, and nothing that SAIT can do about it right now is they don't know what to expect from him.
No, and I don't think they were necessarily expecting the power coming off of him. But obviously on that second one for Carey, there was so much power when he made the dig. It obviously went into the roof. That's how much power is coming off of it. The speed to still go all the way up. And it wasn't like it was slow to go. It came up quickly.
And it's always hard to prep for a team that you don't see very often. A team like from the Northern Division, you know, and the ACAC, obviously there hasn't been North versus South matchups in a couple years because of the pandemic. And so of course these two teams haven't met in years in any capacity. So it's hard to really get a scouting report here. But Bjorkis, this time, the timeout just takes him off his rhythm a little bit. You can tell he's frustrated as that one goes into the net.
Yeah, he wants that one back, obviously. Now getting subbed back out there for Nelson. And yeah, you could see the frustration on Bjork's face.
Absolutely, a little offense-defense switch here. As actually Nelson came right back out. It was someone else who came in. I'm not 100% sure who I saw enter the match. But either way, Jackson Tice on serve. That's a good one. It's kept alive, though. And what a dig by Carrios. Jeff Carrios having himself a set. And Zachary, I don't know if he meant to do it or not, but that one went off speed, and it finds the court for the point.
Yeah, I think Blight there definitely thought he was going to come in with a little bit more heat. They know Zachary comes in with that, and he just didn't necessarily get the timing of it. You could see that he was a little bit frustrated there.
I think it was a mishit, but it certainly paid off.
I'm sure if we talk to Zachary after the game, he's going to say it was perfectly planned that way.
Absolutely it was. Oh, free ball as he misses that one. Could have let that one go as it looked like it was going out, but either way, Williams has to throw it over. Labato off the hands, up into the ceiling, and we are back even at 20 apiece. Both teams 5 points away from the set, but of course, got to win by 2.
Yeah, that you do. And boy, oh boy, we have come to a game today. This has been back and forth, back and forth. This is what you love to see in this sport.
You can tell both teams want to get back into that playoff picture.
Both teams very similar in record-wise. That is terribly, terribly unfortunate there. You know, Short just not able to quite get it over the net there. And it's frustrating after such a good rally.
Trojans back up 21-20. Philip Floric is going to come to the service line as player from each side are going to have a discussion with the chair umpire. I think a little bit more confusion about the scoreboard because, you know, we have the 21-20, but it's actually for the opposite teams here.
Yeah, so normally what happens is the side that the team is on, that's where the score is, and we have it flip-flop, which is something that confused me a little bit at the start, but...
Tice goes off speed on, that was Floric going off speed on his serve, finding the open space. And
Labato just couldn't quite get it. That was a tricky one.
2, and they are pumped as the timeout is called by Coach Dyer of the Rustlers.
Yeah, and you know, this is another good timeout opportunity. Very, very close. You want to just slow the pace down. Trojan right now, they have a lot of momentum going into this last part of the set, so you really want to slow it down.
course, we are going to be back here tomorrow night for another doubleheader back-to-back in men's and women's volleyball, as your SAIT Trojans are going to be back in action right here on ACAC TV as they host the Keano College Huskies right here at Rally Pointe. 6 p.m. for the women, 8 p.m. for the men. You're going to want to stick around and check that out on ACAC TV.
Also on the docket tomorrow for SAIT Trojans sports, we see the SAIT Trojans men back in action, who are having a phenomenal year, sitting at 4-2. Their only 2 losses coming against Red Deer. Last weekend they were able to beat team opponents Nate, team rivals Nate, champions last year in the ACAC hockey.
Absolutely, they're going to be taking on the Concordia Thunder live at Winsport Arena here in Calgary, which of course you're going to be able to check out on ACAC TV.
But here we are back with more volleyball, where we see Floric time now with the serve.
Floric with the serve. It is controlled. Right at the net though. Off speed. Brilliant save by Tice.
Logan
they go
Williams
far side.
Beautiful little tip there to get it over.
Logan's just got to throw it over. Chance now for the Rustlers. What a save. That one ate up Floric, but he's able to keep it alive, and it's kept alive again. Great defense by Ryan Zachary, holding his hands up. He doesn't know how he did it, but he did it, and that is another point for the Trojans.
I got to give a lot of credit to Floric there, because that one almost looked like it bounced off of his head there, but he was just able to get it, and luckily his teammates were able to bail him out on that one, as that one just bounced up into the air.
Floric still on serve. Blake goes behind for Short, who sails it long, giving the Trojans now set point up 24-20.
Yeah, Floric, you know the SAIT Trojans, they are looking to put this set and close it here. Boy, oh boy, has this been a great game to watch so far.
4 set point opportunities now. Floric on serve. Just skips over the net. And that one's set well long. No touch by the Trojans net players, and the opening set of the match goes the way of the Trojans.
Boy, oh boy, do we have a game on our hand here. This was very, very exciting to watch. Again, both teams going back and forth, back and forth. If you are a fan of this sport, this is something that you like to see.
Absolutely, lovely work by both teams. Trojans were able to go up by 6, and the Lakeland Rustlers did a great job to claw their way back into the set, but the Trojans, that net presence just a little bit too much right now, and then that defensive presence that you get from players like Pellicciati and Williams, and of course Jeff Carrios, just a little bit too much for Lakeland to handle in the first set.
Yeah, Carrios, he was immaculate in that first set, making an amazing couple of digs there to bail his team out there. Most of the time we would see those types of digs get bounced out into weird angles. Carrier able to do a really good job.
And of course Floric, you know, he leads the team in blocks on the season with 9 so far, but he's getting it done on the offensive ends in that opening set. And you love to see that from a man like him, because this team has struggled at times offensively, and they have relied on their defense. So to see them getting offensive output from another player on this team has been huge.
Yeah, and definitely going into this game, you would look at Lakeland saying they're definitely a little bit more the favorites, obviously having the more favorable record, but, you know, they have to come all the way down from Lloydminster, so we kind of wonder about how the ride would be for them. Obviously, we talked about this potentially affecting the women's earlier, but boy, oh boy, this was a set to enjoy.
Absolutely. Volleyball fans will be happy to see it. And, you know, even for people like you and me, who we've said before, we're still fairly new to the sport in a more competitive manner, but like for us, I mean, I've loved coming here week after week and covering this Trojans team, win or lose. Watching this volleyball has been great. The fans have been great, and we want to thank Rally Pointe for being amazing hosts to the Trojans while the campus set are going under renovations.
Yeah, obviously, again, you and I, we're not the biggest volleyball guys. We love the sport. This is kind of our first real opportunity to cover it live. But for me, the way that I kind of look at this game right now is it's 2 boxers in the ring just going toe-to-toe with each other, and no one side has really taken the advantage, but boy, oh boy, it's just kind of like one or two small little jabs and small little hits there that are getting the job done, and SAIT Trojans won that first round.
Yeah, they definitely took, they took the first round, but it is a battle. It's the first battle in what is quite the war we've got going on here between these two teams. I expect Lakeland to come back firing, a little bit more motivated in the second set to try and even it up. They don't want to go down 2-0.
It's going to be really interesting to see in this second set the adjustments both teams make, because granted, yes, the Trojans did win that 25-20, but they are not happy defensively giving up that many points. And for Lakeland, they are definitely liking what they've been doing offensively, just maybe trying to clean up the defense a little bit more.
Second set just about ready to get underway. I believe it is the Trojans who are going to get things started.
All right, Brett, for you, a little bit more experience in the volleyball game. What are you looking for both teams to see to take this next set?
Well, for the Trojans, they just got to do a better job of putting away their chances here. And a little bit smoother on their serves, with the exception of Florek there and, of course, Williams. They've had some issues where they've given up a lot of points due to service errors. As Zachary, good job by Willock to keep that one alive. Come back the other way. Lobato off the hands of Kyrgios for the opening point. And I want to continue there, of course. For the Rustlers, I just want to see a little bit more of a net presence right now. They haven't done a good job of getting in front of those ones and getting those blocks and giving the Trojans too many chances at the net.
I kind of want to see Lakeland move away from Carey, because he's just been doing such a good job at getting the digs and setting up his team properly. Trying to move away from that very key player there might be a very good thing for Lakeland to do.
And that is back-to-back points here for the Rustlers, going up 2-0 early. Lane Blight, the fourth year from Oakville and Manitoba, on serve.
We did see Lakeland in the first set go up 2-0, so let's see if they are going to get that 3-0 or potentially see what we saw in the first set.
A hand is going to come in contact with the net, and that is going to be another point for the Rustlers. Spencer Locks with that kill opportunity, he's such a menacing figure at 6'7", but it feels like at times he's struggling to put that full body to use and just really learning his way around the court at times.
Yeah, and sometimes when you're that big, you can definitely struggle to find your proper placements, because sometimes when you go up a little too high, they'll just hit it normally into what would be someone normally at a 6 foot around that type of height. So he's just trying to find the proper angles and the right areas where he needs to get his body placement.
Zachary able to get the put away there and get the Trojans on the board. And Williams picking up where he left off in the first set with a massive serve, getting the love from his bench, who continue their push-ups.
Maybe not try to do too many push-ups, because some of those guys might have to go in, and they might be a little tired from all those push-ups throughout the night.
You got to stay fresh when you're on the bench here. You got to be ready to come in.
You got to stay fresh, for sure.
Williams, a starting machine, sends it with just a little too much power this time.
A little bit too much mustard.
Yeah, Lakeland letting that one go. Going back up by 2, 4-2 here early in the second. Lobato now on serve. He's gonna go behind the back. Zachary tries to keep it alive, but he's unable to do so, and that is gonna be a point for the Rustlers, who extend the lead to 3 early in set number 2 as they look to get back into this match.
Yeah, right now the Trojans just need to get back to that way that they were playing at the end of it. They were playing so well defensively. They were moving it really, really well. Lakeland doing a good job in exploiting that.
And that is a brilliant serve by Lobato, catching the near side, painting that line. And that was a perfectly placed ace by the Brazilian.
You'd love to see it. Love to see it.
This time the Trojans let it go, and it sails long for a service error and a point for SAIT.
SAIT able to get that one back. Let's see what they are capable of doing here with Spencer Lawler.
The big man gets the kiss off the tape. Nelson let it go. Lobato did not anticipate it coming to him. It drops. It's an ace 4 locks and the Trojans, who cut the lead to 2.
Yeah, Lobato definitely was not expecting that weird, funny bounce coming off of the net there, and just kind of looked at it and looked around going, uh-oh, I messed up.
Yeah, and then you saw like Nelson got his hands in the way there and then pulled them away. But Lobato now plays it off the hands of Tice, and it falls to the floor. Rustlers bring that lead back up to 3 as the teams trade points here.
Lobato coming in with some of that Brazilian spice because there was a lot of heat on that kill.
Jarrett Nelson now, the 3rd year from veteran Alberta. Gets a little bit underneath that one, and he sails the ball well long for the point for the Trojans. 7-5 here early in set number 2. Ryan Zachary to serve now for SAIT.
Yeah, another really good set here. Both teams not really out-maneuvering or out-advantaging the other team right now.
Sam Zachary able to get it down. It's going to be a free chance now for the Trojans to Florek. Fans on it, now the other way. The Rustlers have a chance, and they capitalize as it's Cameron Jones getting way up and sending it down to the court.
Yeah, unfortunately for SAIT, they just weren't in the right positioning there. Obviously, they had that little bit of a fan shot, which kind of messed them up a little bit on the rhythm.
It's Mason Short now back on serve. And again, he sails it. And the Lakeland Rustlers, if it's not for some of these service errors, might find themselves up more by more than just 2 right now.
It definitely feels like this should be a lot higher of a score for Lakeland than it is, but unfortunately, just exactly like what you're saying there, just those little unseen errors.
Mason Short kind of been the everyman for the Rustlers this season. 45 kills, 21 digs, 17 blocks. He's done it on both offense and defense. And that is going to be a double touch there, the chair umpire says, and another free point for the Trojans, who I think this is, of their 7 points so far this set, I think that's 4 now that have come the way of unforced errors.
Yeah, and you know what? If you're Lakeland, you're kicking yourself because of that, because you don't want to be giving up 4 points of just free, easy points for the team.
Tice just sends it slightly long, nearly had it, but it goes long, and it is going to be a point for Lakeland, who go back up by 2, 9-7, set number 2.
And if you're the Trojans right now, sorry for cutting you off there, Brett, but obviously if Lakeland is giving you these error points, you don't want to give one back to them.
The serve does go in. Williams throws it off the hands. No one could locate it on the Rustlers side, and that's going to be a point for SAIT, who bring the lead back down to 1, bringing up Florek to serve.
Yeah, Williams doing a really great job there, just putting himself in the right position, changing up the speed that we've seen from him, just giving a little bit of touch there.
Send it out wide, Lobato. Tice does a great job to keep it alive. Zachary throws it towards the net. Williams unable to control it as well, and that's beautifully worked by the Trojans. Scrambling defense leading to offense to tie up the second set at 9.
Yeah, Zachary and Tice there, unfortunately, in the back end, got a little bit tangled up there with their feet. Luckily, they were able to get it sorted out there and get that point to tie this ball game up.
Great job by Zachary from such an awkward spot to be able to send it towards the net and set up his teammate Williams.
And then another really good job by Tice to make sure that, unfortunately, they just got tangled up there. Good job to not fall over.
Spencer Locke sends it down, and that's beautifully worked by the big man, giving the Trojans their first lead of the set, 10-9.
Great job. Good motivation by this Trojans team to put themselves back in a good opportunity after starting less than hot than what they did early in this set.
Florek now, this time just doesn't get everything he wanted on that one, and it just lightly just rolled right into the net, and they give that point back. 10s apiece right now in the second set.
Yeah, Florek, he definitely was trying to change up the speed and get Lakeland a little bit off balance there, but ultimately just couldn't get it over top.
That one stays alive, and it's Williams who just sends it off the top of the tape, and it doesn't get the friendly roll, and it's going to be a point for Lakeland, who go back up by 1 here.
One thing I will say, in the first set, a lot of those weird bounces went for the SAIT Trojans. So far in this set, hasn't necessarily been going quite their way.
Mayer does a great job again. Another solid serve by the second-year player from Regina, Saskatchewan, my hometown. I love to see another man from Regina here. Shout out to Winston Milk High School.
And now we're going here on a timeout. But yeah, again, another very, very good set here. Very competitive, sitting at 12-10 for Lakeland.
As the Coach Sunius has to take a timeout, just like he did in the first set here, to try and calm down SAIT midway through this second set. Try to settle them down and get them a little bit more calm so they can get back into this one.
Again, going back to kind of the boxing analogy I was using in between, this round, again, feels like both guys are really, really trying to feel each other out, not really trying to put themselves in a dangerous opportunity, only giving up the light stuff. There's a few mistakes being made, but both teams are making these mistakes. So very, very close competitive second set here. 12-10. Lakeland over these SAIT Trojans. Obviously, Lakeland having to make the long commute down from Lloydminster. Again, these two teams haven't played each other for a few years, like you were mentioning earlier in the broadcast, due to the pandemic. So it's very fresh for both of these teams seeing each other for the first time.
And of course, Lakeland, like we've said, you know, the Calgary area and most of Alberta getting hit with a lot of snow here this week. So not only is it a long trip, it's a little more dangerous trip, because you got to be careful on those roads. So grateful that Lakeland was able to get here safe. And that serve from Meyer, not a lot of power on it, but he picked up where he left off at the timeout, and it just lightly drops into the back corner for another ace. Lakeland now up 3.
Mayer in that first set did a really good job, and he gave the Trojans a little bit of trouble here. So we're starting to see that again here. Again, that just bounced off of the SAIT Trojan player there of Williams, and again, Mayer just starting to give that little bit of trouble here for the Trojans.
You know, you can tell he doesn't serve with a lot of power, but he lets a lot of spin on those balls, and it's just very hard for SAIT to get behind them and figure them out. And he gets the friendly kiss off the top of the tape, bounces off the net, lands on the Trojans' side of half, and that's another ace for Aiden Mayer.
Yeah, going back to that phrase that you were using in the earlier games today, if you're good, you're lucky, and if you're lucky, you're good. And he's definitely getting some luck there on some of those bounces.
And this time it's Logan Williams getting a much-needed point back for SAIT, cutting the lead to 4, 15-11.
Yeah, Cameron Jones just really had no answer for that. That one came in an awkward spot for him. He couldn't go down low for the dig, and he couldn't go for the setup there. So tough situation for Cameron Jones.
Jackson Pellichatti now on the serve. They go to the Norwegian, and the Norwegian finds the court and the kill for the point.
Yeah, Bjorkis, beautiful, beautiful kill there. Again, one thing that we saw from not a lot of speed, but just an immense amount of power. And he put that one in a great, great spot.
Let's extend that lead back up to 5. Pellichatti goes near side. Zachary off the hands of Willick and down. Zachary, he's on his game today. That's another kill for the big man.
Yeah, and for Willick, unfortunately, just couldn't get that one. Again, putting in that weird spot of where you can't quite get the dig, but you can't quite get the tip setup pass there.
That serve by Williams does clip the net and fall, and it's going to be another service error for the Trojans. We're going to see Pierce Toll now entering the match for Williams. First substitution of the match for SAIT. Pierce Toll has had himself quite a bit of a good year as well, coming in with 18 kills, 10 digs. See if he can light a spark for this SAIT team as we have Bjorkis now on serve. And
again, he just comes in with so much power. Not necessarily the speed, but just the power. That one came in with such force.
That was just simply brilliant right there by Bjorkis. He has so much power, and he's able to just pick those spots. And Coach Sunius, he's going to have to call another timeout here as the Rustlers have now extended the lead to 6.
Yeah, and luckily for SAIT Trojans in that first set when Bjorks came up there and did his serve, the only way they got away from him is because Bjorks put that one into the actual netting. And the Trojans are kind of hoping that they have that similar situation there, because Bjork's, that is a tough ball to stop.
I mean, the man has only been in the game for a short while, but whatever he is, he gets at that service line. And I mean, personally, I don't understand why he's not starting, because he has been an absolute lightning rod for this team. And every time he's in, good things happen for this team.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely, particularly in this set, he's just been doing such good stuff on the defensive and offensive side of the ball. Obviously, in that first set, we saw such great serving from him. Now we're seeing a little bit more in the defense and offensive side of the game, away from the serving aspect as well.
Lakeland looking to get this match tied up at 1 set apiece. They are looking strong to do so, as it is going to be the 6'2" Norwegian, Gabriel Bjorkas, back on serve, doing what he has been doing all match, and that has just been whipping bullets at this Trojans team.
And again, he just puts another just rocket of a shot. Again, like what I'm saying, SAIT Trojans at this point kind of hoping he puts one into the net, because they don't have an answer for the moment for this Norwegian.
Absolutely brilliant to watch him serve this volleyball. Lakeland up by a touchdown now, 19-12. This time, just gets on top of the ball just a little bit, and it goes into the net. But with how well he served, you don't mind giving up one if you get 4 first.
Yeah, well, and you know, SAIT, they're sitting back going like, oh, thank you. You put another one in the net, because they have not had an answer for him.
Denial at the net, kept alive by Zachary. It's just got to be sent over, and Tice able to play it off Willock. But it is going to be, it's going to be an infraction by the Trojans, and the point is going to go to the Rustlers. You've got to feel gutted for the Trojans, as they felt they had that point won.
Yeah, just an unfortunate circumstance there. You hate to see it, but, you know, they were relieved to get Bjorks away from the serving area, but just hoping to get a really talented server away from you is not a way that you're going to win. You have to be able to make up some ground once that happens.
Trojans going to have to make something happen here quickly. Down 7. Rustlers only 5 away from the set. Nelson on serve. Pellicciati at the net, goes near side. Tice straight down for a huge point.
He put some hot sauce on that one. My goodness, that one came in with heat. We're feeling that one from up here.
And I love the way he was able to get up so high on that jump, hit it at its apex, and send it straight down. Nothing that they can do on that one.
Yeah, Jackson Tice sitting at a modest 6'4", so he was able to get high up in the air on that one. Unfortunately, it's really been kind of the main thing for the SAIT Trojans this set, is once they start to get something good happen, they just can keep it going.
Yeah, another serve sent well long by Zachary. He's really struggled with a serve tonight. That's the 3rd time now. A beautiful diving save by Karios, brilliantly worked. And Tice gets the put away, rewarding the defensive effort.
Yeah, again, that 6'4" frame of his, able to get really, really high up in the air and just deliver a strike.
And SAIT's libero, Jeff Karios, absolutely laying out and reaching for that. What a beautifully worked job to keep the ball in the air. Now Tice goes near side. Denied at the net and sent home, and it's Jackson Pellicciati with his 2nd block of the match.
Maybe the SAIT Trojans have been listening to us and going, you know what, we're going to start taking some of the things that they're saying up there in the booth, because boy, oh boy, these last few serves, this has been a different looking SAIT Trojans team in this set.
Hey, maybe we know what we're talking about. Maybe we should coach maybe we should coach a junior team.
Let's not go that far too quickly.
It's met at the net. Karios with another huge dive to keep it alive. Toll now off the hands. Bjorkas saves it at the back line. Karios with another diving save. And Zachary now lays out. Brilliant defense from SAIT. And Karios again keeps it alive. Jeffrey Karios, have yourself a game.
Oh.
And finally, after numerous efforts, Lakeland does get the point.
Carius and Zachary were both trying to go for it, and Carius was just doing so good on those digs. What a rally there. Oh my goodness.
Got to tip your cap to Jeff Carios, just laying out the body time and time again.
There was 4 digs there that you're looking at, okay, the rally's gonna be over. Carios says, nope, I'm gonna keep this one going.
Nice job again by Carios to take that serve. Zachary just two hands it over. Bjorkus now off the hands and down for a point. And despite the great defensive effort here by the Trojans, the lead is back up to 7, and Lakeland 2 away from evening up this match at a set apiece.
Yeah, boy, oh boy. This has just been such a phenomenal game of volleyball to watch.
That serve sent well wide there by Cameron Jones. Potentially a lifeline for SAIT. The lead down to 6. Florek on serve, and they're going to need him to do what he did in the first set, and that's go on a big run.
Yeah, that big run that he had in the first was a really turning point for them here. Let's see if he can do it again.
Yeah, he absolutely sealed that first set. But now it's going to be the other way. It's kept alive again. More scramble defense. Zachary just got to throw it over. Free ball. And a great job there by Cameron Jones from the tee line there to just send it into the back corner.
Came in like Michael Jackson trying to slam a basketball there. And boy, oh boy.
Jackson or Jordan?
Jordan.
It's
did
7.
I say Michael Jackson?
You said Jackson. It's a 7-point Lakeland Rustlers lead. They've got 7 set point opportunities here.
Yeah, you kind of gave me that look there. I was like, what? Did I do a bad analogy? Or?
Williams with the kill. It's kept alive, though, by Ian Cousin, who comes into the match, and it's slammed home by Nelson, who gets the set-winning kill, and this is suddenly a 1-1 match.
Yeah, this has been an absolute game for sure. You know, obviously in that first set, both teams really trying to feel each other out, going back and forth, back and forth. This game, Lakeland getting a little bit more of the advantage. You know, obviously they struggle with Bjorks. Again, SAIT has had no answer. First set, second set, the only way they got him off the serving line was to get him to hit the ball into the own net, and both times you can see him frustrated walking off of that because he knows he has SAIT's number.
Absolutely. Of course, that was Ian Cousin on the serve there for the Rustlers. First time we've seen him in this match, the first-year student from Hoey, Saskatchewan. Big shout-out to Hoey and St. Louis, a couple of small towns in Saskatchewan up near Prince Albert. I actually have some friends down there. Hoey's town of maybe like a couple hundred people. So when I saw that on the game sheet, I got really excited about the fact that
it's always nice to see some of these small towns bring out some really good talent into these ACAC league. But yeah, after 2 sets, tied 1-1 here. Obviously, that one definitely went a little bit more in Lakeland's favor. Again, I'm going to go back to that boxing analogy. That's the sport I know. This is very similar to both fighters keeping it very, very close. A lot of jabs, a lot of smart play. Neither team is really trying to take too much of a risk here and trying to expose themselves in a way that would be ill-advised for them, or really trying to take an unnecessary risk. And right now, this is a prize fight by 2 very, very talented squads.
Absolutely. You can see the hunger in both these teams here. They do not want to lose another game here as they sit outside the playoffs. Like we mentioned, both teams want to get back into that playoff picture, and a win for both teams is going to do wonders for them. So, of course, now that we've seen, obviously, the Trojans got the better of the Rustlers there, winning the opening set 25-20, but this Rustlers team came back with a flurry. Trojans tried to mount a comeback midway through that second set, but the Rustlers able to kind of control that and then able to get back on top of it. And despite some brilliant defensive play from the Trojans, from Carios, Zachary, Tice, that whole team, lots of defense, but just were not able to translate it back into offense enough.
Yeah, and unfortunately for SAIT, Bjorks came in to kind of really stop that comeback for them, and they need to find an answer for him. Yes, he comes in with the power, but you know, you have to find a way to neutralize that, because if he goes on a run of 7, 8, 9, potentially 10 of getting it over, SAIT has just had no answer for it. And you know Lakeland is loving every bit of serving that they can get out of him.
We are going to see Bjorkus come back in to start this third set. This is the first time he's starting a set for this Rustlers team, and with just how keyed in he's been in this match, it's not surprising to see that we're going to see a lot more of him for the rest of it.
Yeah, you got to know that head coach Taylor Dry is very impressed from what he's seen so far today from him, from his big Norwegian.
Love the international flavor from this team here. We got
3 international students, which in the ACAC League, you're not seeing a whole lot of international students, predominantly made up of Canadian-born players, but always nice to have that international spice.
Zachary, unfortunately this time, his opening set serve gets underneath it a bit and it just sails long, and that's going to be a quick and easy point for the Rustlers, who now put the ball in the hands of their serving specialist, Bjorkus.
Yeah, and they got to hope that they find an answer here, or he puts it into the net early. Or he puts it out of the back, and he gets it in there.
The line judge, unable to get a good look at it, he deferred to the chair umpire, who gives it the way of the Trojans. Rustlers clearly not happy about it. I personally think it clipped the line, but I can't. From here, it was hard to see.
I was also looking at that saying, thinking it clipped the line, but Trojans just not able to capitalize on that early momentum that they got there.
What a save there on that point from Lane Bly at the net, able to tip it backwards to a teammate who was able to put it away, and the Rustlers now back up 2-1 here in the opening stages of set number 3. Nelson on serve. Pelichetti goes near side. Tice sends it hard and down, and that's brilliantly worked by the Trojans.
Tice again just getting up there and just putting all sorts of heat on there. Oh my goodness. Again, that 6'4", being able to jump as high as he can there.
The man has got some hops, and oh my goodness, is he able to send it straight down like that every time. Zachary. 4th time now in this match where Zachary has sent a serve long. And unfortunately for him, the serving struggles just continue. You can tell how frustrated he is out there. It's not from a lack of trying.
No, and some nights you just have that situation of where you just can't necessarily get it in bounds. But luckily, SAIT Trojans able to get a gift there, and Lakeland putting it right out of bounds. So both teams, again, they're just trying to get that little bit of a jab momentum, really trying to work each other out, not trying to do too much here, and this has just been a phenomenal game to watch.
Yeah, more service errors though, and now Tice, he's gonna send this one in. Light goes through the center, sends it off the top of the hands. Well worked play there from Lakeland.
Coming in to serve for Lakeland is number 8. That is Cameron Jones. Again, early, he kind of struggled a little bit in the first 2 sets on the serving for Lakeland. So good job there at getting that one over.
Pelichetti goes back to Williams, near side. Wanted the tip off the hands, didn't get it, he sent it long. Rustlers get the first 2-point lead here of the set, 5-3.
One of the things that we saw from Williams over the first 2 sets is not necessarily getting the right hand placement there, and he's kind of sending it on weird angles and not necessarily getting it to where he wants it to be.
Good job at Pelichetti, keep that one alive. Williams just had to send it deep, free ball now. They go down the middle, and it's put away brilliantly by Mayer, the 6'5" man from Regina.
Yeah, Karios, who's been just doing such a good job with those digs today, just unable to dig them out of that hole on that occasion.
Pierce Toll back in the game here in favor of Logan Williams to receive this serve from Jones. Trojans stuck 3 right now. Zachary gets high, up the hands, it's kept alive by the Rustlers. And Bjorkus continuing to stay red hot as he puts that one off the arms and out for another Rustlers point, who have now put up 4 in a row. 7-3 the score.
Yeah, Bjorkus, he has just been a nightmare for this Trojans team. whenever he gets up in the air and hitting a ball, it has just been dangerous for SAIT.
And another great serve from Cameron Jones, who stays red hot at the service line. He is on a heater at serve. Toll unable to handle that one, up into the ceiling.
Definitely serving it a lot better now than what we saw in those first 2 sets. Definitely starting to find his groove and find his rhythm.
And just like that, in the blink of an eye, the Rustlers up 5. But he fans on that serve as he tried to go off speed and gives that one back. And again, the Trojans early on in sets getting the majority of their points off of service errors.
Yeah, and we saw that a lot through the second set too, where it was really not really the Trojans getting these points, but it was Lakeland gifting them it.
They go up the middle, he goes off speed. Bit of a scramble there. Bjork, a second chance, able to find it again, and the man just cannot be stopped.
Yeah, he is just all over it today. What can we really say? He's just been a thorn in the side of these SAIT Trojans.
I mean, I know what I can say about him right now. Player of the game. Because right now, I mean, he's just been an absolute menace.
Yeah, unfortunately for us, whenever we try to predict things, we typically get it wrong, so.
Pellicciati just tries to throw it over, and Lane Bly says that anything you can do, I can do better, and he throws it over the net, finds the open space, and that is another Rustlers point.
Unfortunately for the Trojans right there, they just had 3 guys all going for it. Breakdown in communications there.
Yeah,
frustrating
good
as all
job
can be.
there by Lane Bly, just able to find the open space. And Tice letting it go over his head, and it does sail long. Trojans continuing to be gifted points here by the Rustlers and able to stick around as they've cut the lead now down to 5. Pellicciati on serve.
Really good opportunity here for SAIT to try to get some momentum back in here. And a great job there by number 15, Zachary, stopping the thorn in the side there. That has been Bjork's.
Absolutely a massive D there from the Trojans. Trying to put a seed of doubt into the head of Bjorkus, who to this point has been unstoppable. Gonna get a second chance though here. He goes off speed, it's kept alive. Karras sets it up for Toll off the hands. Staying alive once again. Brilliant scrambling defense. Put aside, but still available. Free ball now. Pellicciati goes behind the back to Zachary. Off the hands, and they get the point as the Trojans finally able to string together some consecutive points, and they've cut this lead in half from 6-3.
That was a beautiful rally there, Brett. Both teams really having to work with that, and Bjork's really, they kind of neutralized him on that one, not allowing him to get those really super good angles.
Pellicciati now back on serve. Bly goes to Bjorkus one more time, but he misses it. But he's able to get lucky off the net. He'll tell you that's exactly how he drew it up. Off the net, bounced over and landed down. And Bjorkus gets one back and back to a 4-point game.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things that we've seen over these last couple of rallies is Bjorkus changing up his speed or changing up the level of power that he's been able to deliver. We all know when he goes full strength, it is impossible to stop, but he's been doing such a good job at switching up the momentum.
Great defense there by the Rustlers. This time Zachary goes off speed, throws it off of the arm of the Rustlers player. I believe that was Martin Short, and it drops down to the floor. And Zachary denied when he goes full power. This time takes some off, and he's able to get the point.
Yeah, he was taking a note out of Bjorkus' book there of switching it up and just putting a little bit more touch on it and getting that one in for the point.
Pierce Toll now to serve. Trojans stuck 3, doing a good job of just eating away at this Rustlers lead. They go out wide, off the hands, kept alive, and a great defensive effort there from the Trojans by Ryan Zachary and Spencer Locks at the net.
Beautiful, beautiful teamwork there. The boys are starting to get a little bit more confidence in this. They're starting to play a little bit more, with a little bit more swagger. Starting to string together some points.
Toll, another good serve. Cameron Jones had to get down very low, but a net infraction called by the chair, and that is another point. And suddenly we've got a 1-point game, and Coach Dyer for the Rustlers got to call timeout.
Yeah, this is a very, very good call. Called timeout by the Rustlers. Obviously, one thing that we saw in the second set is the SAIT Trojans come back into this game and bring it back, but now they need to have that difference of they were able to bring it back early in the set, but then they let the Rustlers kind of take it away from them later in that second set. Now they need to make sure they can keep this momentum that they've been building.
Absolutely, and a big key part of that has been adding Pierce Toll into the lineup. He's been serving great, and he's been a bit of a spark, and the defense that they've shown in that second set is continued on, but now it's leading into those offensive opportunities.
Yeah, and one thing that we talked about with the SAIT Trojans here going into today's game, they have a very good defense. We saw the offense in that first one. Now we're having to see them kind of go on the back foot a little bit and really use that defense. They need to get back to what they were doing in that first set with their offense, moving it around, controlling the pace of it, and finding those open areas.
Both teams ready to come back here after the timeout. Pierce Toll to get back on serve for the Trojans. He's on a bit of a run right now.
But yeah, doing a really good job. Last 3 points for the SAIT Trojans. Able to string together some points here. Let's see what they can do to continue this.
Ready to get underway. Toll, another brilliant serve. Bly goes behind the back for Bjorkus, and Bjorkus is back as he sends that one hard off the shoulder of Pellicciati. Nothing the man could do about that one, and it's back to a 2-point game.
And Bjorkus now back at the serving line, and he has been, oh, so good for Lakeland when he's been there.
Kyrgios gets down low to keep that one up. Pellicciati goes near side, and Tice, again, another brilliant kill. The man is just unstoppable at the net.
You know what? I'm more impressed that they were able to finally unlock the key to stopping Bjorks on that ability. Kyrgios getting down, he had to get down low. He was looking like he was going to join a limbo competition there with how low he got.
The man is a brilliant libero as that serve there from Locks goes straight into the net. Kyrgios has just been an absolute rock on this team. Fourth-year student from Calgary, the local boy. He has been just a leader of this Trojans group, and a big reason why this match is as close as it is right now. Tice controls here. Pellicciati goes behind the back for Zachary. Off the hands, off another hand of Bjorkus, and it's going to be a point for SAIT.
Yeah, unfortunately for SAIT, they gave up that little bit of an easy point there after having such a great opportunity, but they were able to get the momentum back on their side in that rally.
Now a substitution for the Trojans, as it is going to be number 12 by the power of Grayskull. He-Man is in, Richard He to serve for the Trojans.
He is definitely on the serve now. And he, unfortunately, just puts it out of bounds on that one.
Yeah, good opportunity. I love what I saw from him on the serve, but it just sailed it just a little bit too long.
He now taken out of the play.
Yeah, Zachary gonna check back in for the Trojans. Down 2 here, midway through the third set, excuse me. Pellicciati, near side, Tice, this time denied, kept alive. Free ball now. Rustlers go far side. Cameron Jones denied at the net. And that is going to be a double touch and a point for the Trojans. Defense leading into offense once again.
Yeah, that was a beautiful rally by both squads. SAIT just able to get a little bit better touches there.
Jackson Tice on serve. The man is having one heck of a game here for the Trojans. And that's a good serve, just a little bit outside, as that is going to be a missed serve and a point for Lakeland.
One thing that we've been hearing all game from both teams is both of the benches have been screaming out different things to the opposing server, and I'm not sure what that last one was. It just sounded a little bit like screeching there, and it definitely worked in their advantage there.
Yes, if this was basketball, the bench would definitely get credit for the psych out.
I was just about to bring up basketball as well.
As that ball, miscommunication between Zachary and Pellicciati, they both let the other one go for it, and the ball drops down to the ground.
SAIT Trojans might have to bring out a little bit of basketball themselves there, try to get that psych out, tie this at one
Absolutely. 16-13 now is the score in this third set in favor of Lakeland. That one sails just long as the Trojans let it go. Back to a 2-point advantage. And Philip Florek back on serve. I like what I see from Florek when he serves. He doesn't go for power, he just goes for placement. He just wants to get it in and rely on his defense to come up big for him.
And you know what? Sometimes that's exactly all you need, is to have placement and allow your team to do what they do good at. And right there, it works out right for them.
And there is Spencer Locks on the D, denying Bjorkis. And it appears like Jake Willick might be a little bit shaken up as he dove hard for that one.
Yeah, you hate to see that type of thing. Slow to get up. He looks like he's in a little bit of pain, but he's walking around trying to walk that one off. Hopefully he's okay.
There's one thing I have learned since beginning to call about volleyball, is that these players are tough, man. And they dive all over this hard court constantly. And whenever they get hurt, they stay in the game. And love to see that from Willick.
Well, the fact that, you know, these players have the opportunity of getting essentially a basketball served into their face at rapid speeds and able to just shake that one off shows just their toughness.
What a put away there from Mayer. And he is going to step out, and Cousin going to come back in.
And again, looking right now, we have a 17-15 game. All of these games just incredibly close, incredibly tactile. And again, I hate to be the broken record and use the boxing analogy, but these guys are just constantly going back and forth, not trying to do too much. Unfortunately for SAIT, they just hit that one just with a little bit too much mustard and go right outside of the box.
Yeah, Toll trying to paint the very back corner there, but just sending it wide. And Ian Cousin now back on serve once again, but not before a timeout called by Coach Sunius and the Trojans.
Yeah, good timeout call there. Get a little bit more rest time here. They've definitely started to seem a little bit tired here over these last couple of minutes. And boy, oh boy, do we have a game on our hands here.
We certainly do. And like, you know, we compare this to the match we saw earlier today in the first part of our doubleheader, where the Lakeland Rustlers women's volleyball team continued to stay beyond perfect on the season, going to 7-0, not dropping a set all season, 21 straight, and they looked absolutely unbeatable at points during that match. That third set a little bit more competitive, but of course that second set, Rustlers taking it to the Trojans, 25-7.
25-8.
Oh,
but,
excuse me.
Yeah, a 1 point difference, you know, one of those things, but even then, just sheer dominance. Again, like what we said throughout the night, we are very new to this sport. We are slowly getting into it more and more. Both of us always enjoyed the sport, but that, when we read that on paper, that they went into the game with 18 sets undefeated, 6-0, 18 sets, not dropping a single one, we were like, this is going to be a test for the SAIT Trojans. You know what? They have some things that they definitely need to work on from the Trojan side, but there's things that they can come away with that they liked from their game.
Absolutely. Cousin there with the serve, this time controlled by Tice. Toll takes the speed off, finds the open spot, gets that point back. That's a big one to cut the lead to 2. And of course, the point we were trying to get to there was the fact that we're so happy to see a much more competitive game here in the men's side tonight.
And you know what? I think for all the fans, seeing a blowout, no matter what in any sport, watching a blowout is never fun. It's hard for us on the commentator side because we want to stay positive for both sides and constantly give enough encouragement. But these types of games, they're so much fun to watch as Bjorkis just delivers a strike there.
But it is kept alive. Off speed, throwing the changeup was Brock Toman, who we are now seeing for the match in the first time. And welcome to the party, Brock.
Yeah, talk about doing a little bit of a change-up pitch there. It looked like he was going up and delivering a kill, but nice little touch.
Almost a little bit of a knuckleball there.
Yeah. Good job by SAIT.
Locks thought he got the kill there, but I believe his arm made contact with the top of the net, and that's going to be an error and a point for the Rustlers, who've now extended their lead to 4 here as we reach the later stages of this third set. Friendly kiss this time. Pellicciati goes near side. Zachary straight down for the point. Ryan Zachary. I am loving what I'm seeing tonight from him.
I know we said this for Lakeland's side, but are we potentially saying a player of the game for Zachary on the Trojan side?
It's between, at this point, it's got to be between Zachary and Jeff Carrios there, who's been having an amazing game on the defensive side. Bjorkis off speed, trying to keep it alive with Zachary, but no one there to get the second touch. And Bjorkis doing a good job of going off speed again and extending that lead back to 4. Rustlers 4 points away from taking a 2-1 advantage in sets here in this match. And another timeout here for the Trojans.
Yeah, and obviously, when you see Bjorkis going up to that serving line, the Trojans definitely want to bring that back because he's just been so dangerous. They've really only had one set where they've been able to control his serves, and the rest have just pretty much been like, okay, we're hoping that he hits the net because we have no answers.
Yeah, at this point, it's either you got to hope he hits the net or you got to hope he hits it at Jeff Carrios and he's able to control it, because, I mean, the man has been the standout performer in this match, at least from our perspective.
Without a doubt, he has been the difference maker for Lakeland. Just doing a phenomenal job. And the main reason is he's just coming in with power that neither you or I have really seen in our young time covering the sport.
At the opposite side, I've loved what I've seen from Jackson Tice as well at the net. His ability to get those kills and show that power has been very impressive, but the opportunities just have not been there as often for the Trojans.
Yeah, Jackson Tice has power, but when we see Bjorkis go up, it is a different level of power.
Trojans stuck 4 here as we get back underway. Another good serve. Zachary kept alive by Blight. Cameron Jones off the hands, kept alive, scrambling around are the Trojans, but they can't keep it up. And Lakeland really starting to really facilitate this match as they go up by 5 here late in the third set.
Yeah, they've really started to come into their own over the second set and now in this third set, really playing the game and controlling it the way that they want to.
Big serve coming, and oh my goodness, he paints the back corner. That was something else from Gabriel Bjorkis.
That is the second time we've seen him paint the back corner, and it's one of those ones where he looks like he's trying to take the stitchings out of that ball, and
oh my goodness.
That's all we can really say there is, oh my goodness.
And look at the smile on the Norwegian's face. He is having a blast out there right now, and it's showing as he is just...
He knows for a fact he's having himself a game.
That one just sails wide as he was looking for the sideline this time. But he goes side out, and now Spencer Locke's the lefty, gonna come in to serve, and it is gonna be crucial for him to go on a run here. As they're down 5, they cannot afford to give the Rustlers multiple set point chances here.
Unfortunately, like the second set where the Trojans were able to bring that nice and close at kind of like the middle part of the set, then just letting the Rustlers just get a little bit ahead of them and now having to dig themselves out of this hole. And unfortunately right there, just putting it outside of the box, and that is devastating on that one. It was a good opportunity to get themselves back into this game.
We're gonna see Lobato enter I think this is the first time we've seen him all set.
This is without a doubt the first time we've seen him all set. When he's been out there, he's been really good.
Yeah, and the Lakeland Rustlers now find themselves with 6 set point opportunities. And maybe Lobato's arm gone a little bit cold there from sitting for so long as that serve goes straight into the net. And now it's going to be Ryan Zachary, who, I mean, we've talked enough about his serving struggles today in this match. He's going to have to turn those around, and quick, if he wants to get back into the match. As I think we're going to have to change the score, and we do have the change up on the board now. It is 24-19. 1 set point saved, 5 more to go if SAIT doesn't want to go down 2-1 here. Zachary tried to keep it alive. He tried to play it with the foot, but it's not going to do it. And the Lakeland Rustlers have come storming back to take a 2-1 sets lead here at Rally Point, and now they find themselves on the cusp of getting a big win here.
Yeah, I'm actually going to switch up my sports analogies and switch it from boxing, now switching it up to football. What we see from these first 3 sets so far is first half of the game, both teams really basically just trying to run the ball, really testing out each other's, only throwing the ball every so often. Now we're kind of starting to see Lakeland really starting to flex out their offense a little bit, showing that they have a little bit more confidence, going, you know what, we know what your defense is capable of now, and we're going to exploit it.
Oh, the Rustlers definitely have a swagger right now, Brendan.
That they do, without a doubt, and they are opening up the playbook at this point.
The Rustlers find themselves here in Calgary on a stampede here to try and get a win and get back into the playoff picture in the North Division. Dropping that first set 25-20, they have come back on an absolute mission. And it seems like ever since the insertion of Gabriel Bjorkas late in the second set, the match has been completely turned upside down.
Yeah, it's felt like whenever he's been serving the ball, it almost feels like the SAIT Trojans they have felt his power, and they've been like, okay, we kind of have to play prevention type defense here, which you never like to do, playing prevention when you're behind. Just going, we're trying to delegate, or I'm forgetting the word here, but they're trying to neutralize this as best as possible. And when you're down, that is not the right mentality that you want to have. And unfortunately, that's been the only way they've been able to deal with him so far, which is so terribly unfortunate.
Yeah, the Trojans are going to have to work hard here if they want to get back into this match. I'm not sure what they need to do to adjust.
Yeah, again, we looked at that first set and saying, you know what, there was really nothing for us to talk about, because it was both teams were just working so well together. And
we got an update here for you, live from up at Concordia University, where the SAIT Trojans men involved in hockey action right now on the road, finding themselves up 7-3 right now, looking to keep that positive momentum going here. Could be what's looking to be a 3rd consecutive win for the Trojans men's hockey team before they head back here to do a rematch against the Thunder here at home at Winsport tomorrow night.
yeah, this has been a completely different men's hockey team from what we've seen this year. One of the things that we saw last year, very heavily penalized team. They're still penalized this year, but they're a lot smarter about it, and they're much better defensively. But we're getting back here into this volleyball game. And boy, oh boy, do we have a game on hand. Yes, it is 2-1 for Lakeland, but it has been such an exciting game, which again, for both of us who are still getting used to and new to this sport, what a way for us to get introduced to it.
Absolutely right. We got Josh Crane now in the match for the Trojans. Opening point goes the way of Philip Florek and the Trojans. Hard not to see Josh Crane on the floor, the big man with those goggles. Every time he's out there, you can spot him.
And so far in this game, over the first 3 sets, now going into our 4th, this is the first time SAIT has opened up the set with the lead.
You are very right on that one. They found themselves down early every single time. Blight now, he's gonna go wide. It's gonna sail long as Bly lets it go. Excuse me, that's Jackson Tice letting that one go off of the big kill attempt by Brock Tommen. Trojans, an early lead, which is something they have not seen in this match.
Yeah, and you know what? This is good to build momentum. Obviously, they still have plenty of opportunities to win this matchup. Unfortunately, these errors just keep popping up for them, and that's what's really biting them in the behind.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunate for Tice there as he tried to go off speed, as we've seen plenty of times, but it's going to go right into the net, and look who we see up at the service line holding the ball here for the Rustlers.
Yeah, it has been the Trojan horse, as we're going to start to call him here, because he has just been able to find ways to dominate this Trojans team.
Absolutely, and that leads to another point there as it is Jones able to get the put away. And even though they were able to keep it up in the air, the Trojans this time, the serve was so powerful that it came back over to the Rustlers side and not giving Trojans any offensive opportunities, as it has been the Gabriel Bjorka show. 2-2 here in the fourth. Zachary goes down low, Willick cannot control, and that is a big point for the Trojans, up 3-2.
They definitely needed to have that one. It helps build momentum and build confidence against Bjorkis, because again, when he is up there, he has just been so devastating. Honestly, his serve takes out one of the Trojans players.
Crane
for
with the serve
that
here.
Rally.
Tommen blocked at the net. Flora keeps it up. Pellichatti goes near side. Zachary straight down for the point. Ryan Zachary.
That is what he's been doing so well tonight. Not so much on the serving court, but when he's right up at that line for the net, he has been doing an excellent job at getting those kills.
Crane back on serve. Again, doing a good job of just getting it in. Deflection off the net, kept alive by Florek, sends it over. Denial at the net, second chance. Great defense here from the Trojans. Tice with another dig. And that one well long as the kill attempt nearly takes the head off the line judge there. So he goes right into him. Point for the Trojans, finding themselves up by 3.
Line judge doing a thankless job there, always in the way of some heaters, but great rally there, and Trojans able to come up here now 5-2.
And another denial by Spencer Locks. Loving what I'm seeing in this fourth set from the Trojans.
This is exactly what we've been asking for over those second and third set. Just go back to what you were doing so well in that first set, which was great net presence.
Absolutely, and Crane doing a brilliant job of just sending the serves in play right now. Tommen off the hands, it's gonna sail wide, and that's gonna be a much needed point for the Rustlers, getting it back down to a 3-point lead for SAIT.
But boy, oh boy, this has been a different looking SAIT Trojans team. Obviously, they've had a few new guys in there. They're getting a little bit more fresh legs out there, allowing their guys to get a little bit of relaxation or a little bit of leeway there. But good job again by SAIT.
Florek sends that one off of the top of the noggin of Cameron Jones and sails out of play for a point. Florek putting so much power behind that kill attempt. Lead back up to 4 here. Good defense again by SAIT. Zachary, he's denied at the net, second chance. Zachary again off the hands, and more good defense from Aiden Mayer and the Rustlers.
Yeah, Mayer just doing a phenomenal job at getting some blocks there, and just put it in a situation where the Trojans they just didn't have the man space there to get that ball up for the dig.
Tommen now, his serve goes straight into the net, and that's going to be a point.
Lucky, nice little break there for the SAIT Trojans after a tough rally situation.
Trojans finding themselves in a unfamiliar spot right now where they're up with a pretty decent advantage right now, so they just have to do a good job of just controlling that lead and just staying on top of it. Zachary able to get that serve in. Jones now at the net. Brilliant dig again by Karios. But Pellichatti just not able to get onto the end of that one, as the set attempt was a little bit behind him. And the Trojans unable to put that one away off of more great defense from Karios.
Karios today, man, he's just making some digs that you look at and you're like, yep, that one's going to touch the ground, and nope, he's able to find a way to keep it going.
Jackson Tice now tries to send it straight down, but he sends it wide as he was trying to get around the defender who was there at the net. And good defense from Lakeland, able to force the error.
Tried to throw the curveball there, but just didn't have the speed, or just didn't have the angle for the curve. Went the other way.
That's why they call it the trouble with the curve. It's kept alive, but it's going to be a free ball now for the Rustlers. Tommen goes off speed, denied at the net by Tice.
What a save there. Oh my goodness, that was a thing of beauty.
Tice does it again. And like the old, to paraphrase the old saying, twice as Tice for the Trojans. Little European on European crime there as the absolute kill from Bjork straight into the body of Florek. Nothing the big pole could do on that one.
There was no love lost there from the two Europeans. My, oh my, that one hit him in the chest, and that one's gonna be leaving some bruising.
Pellicciati goes to Crane, who gets the massive kill, his first one of the match. Josh Crane has been a lightning rod for this Trojans team.
Ethan Montague, our play-by-play, our PA announcer, getting nice and hyped for the crowd for us here on that one, and that was a thing of beauty.
Shout out to Ethan Montague as our PA announcer tonight.
Haven't talked about him basically since the first set, so had to throw his name out there. Give him some love.
Rustlers gonna go down the middle, off speed, but it doesn't get over the net, and that is another point for SAIT.
SAIT so far this set, they have just looked so much more cool, calm, collected, playing with swagger, which we have not seen since the first set from them.
Pellicciati on serve once again. Jones able to send that one hard. Takes out the wristband, I believe, of Zachary. As he hit that one with so much force, he sent that wristband flying.
Yeah, he definitely put some hot sauce on it.
I think he broke the wristband off of his arm.
Which is impressive, because those things are durable.
Pellicciati goes behind the back for Tice. He goes off speed. Controlled this time by the Rustlers. Tommen just got to send it over. Pellicciati goes through the middle for Zachary. Second chance now. And Florek is able to put it home.
Oh my, oh my. The Polish man bringing it in and just delivering a kill there. My, oh my.
Absolutely. Love the way both teams have stepped it up so much. The intensity in this fourth set has been ridiculous. Tice nearly paints that back line, but I think it was just maybe a foot too long.
Yeah, just a little bit too far out there. And uh-oh. York's coming back in, and he's just been such a thorn in the side of the Trojans so far this game. Let's see if they can do another good job this time.
Big second year from Mir Norway with the serve. Karios, though, gets the control. And the point goes the way of the Trojans off of the net infraction. You could see on the faces of the Rustlers, especially number 12, Jarrett Nelson, he did not like the call there from the chair.
Yeah. But that's the way it was called, and sometimes you're just going to have to deal with the way the game's called.
Crane now just sends it. They go to Jones, goes off of the, no, it does not go off the body, it goes long. I thought it hit Crane, but that was him moving out of the way. Brilliant awareness there from Josh Crane, and that's another point for the Trojans, who are now up 5.
Yeah, and Nelson had a great fake kill shot there, and unfortunately, Trojans kind of got fooled by it a little bit, but it went in their favor nonetheless.
Lobato now back into the match here for the Rustlers, trying to get a spark. Denied at the net by Locks. Second chance, tried to just throw it over. Ball hits the net, and unable to keep it alive were the Rustlers, and the lead is now up to 6.
Yeah, Bjorkis doing something that we really haven't seen too much from him tonight, which is showing some good defense there. He's really been the offensive guy, and he had to make an excellent save there. And timeout called here.
First time in a while we've seen Coach Taylor Dyer of the Rustlers have to call timeout to settle down his team.
Yeah, and you know, this is a perfect opportunity to call that timeout. Obviously, his team right now not really finding an answer to these SAIT Trojans, and they're just going to have to take a second to sit back down. Again, maybe get a little bit more air in the lungs, calm down the play.
Yeah,
and obviously, their thorn in the side of the Trojans, these last couple times he's been up to serve, hasn't really been that big of a thorn. Maybe since we've been talking about him so much, commentator Curse is going, all right, maybe we're going to slow him down just for the world a little bit.
Absolutely. The commentator's curse giveth, and the commentator's curse taketh. But I love what I have seen from the Trojans in this fourth set, doing a brilliant job of really responding and showing that resiliency and coming back after what was a very deflating second and third sets. And this team, you wouldn't know that they lost 2 sets in a row with how they've played in this fourth.
No, in this third set, it would look like they got 25 points on each of the first 2 sets, and they are looking to put this game away. That is with how much confidence they've been able to do so far here today. Play going in here. SAIT doing a good job, and that one just unfortunately goes up and hits the roof.
Crane did a good job of getting his arm in the way, nearly keeps it alive, but just goes off of the top of the rafters. Lead back down to 5 here in set 4. Florek with the big kill attempt, kept alive, but unable to get onto the end of that one was Nelson. As Florek giving Bjorkis a bit of a receipt there with that heavy kill.
Yeah, this was going, you got me earlier. Time for a little bit of revenge on this one. And we really haven't seen Bjorkis on those receiving ends of that, so maybe he wasn't expecting that one, but
short is denied at the net, and that is a carry on the scramble from Lakeland. We've used those football metaphors, and right now we see the Trojans up by a touchdown here, 17-10 in the fourth set.
Yeah, even though you're up by a touchdown, you definitely don't want to allow this Lakeland team to get the momentum back, because we have seen them go on some runs here so far in today's game. And unfortunately, that right there is not going to help that.
Yeah, Florek giving a point back here on the serve as he hits that one into the net. Lead back down to 6. We're going to have Short back into the match. Mason Short, someone that we also haven't seen much since the first set.
Yeah, he was definitely a staple in that first set. Lucky bounce for Short.
Big save, though, by Pellichatti, who was able to read it off of the net like that. And it's unfortunate for SAIT that they don't end up picking up the point off of that great defensive effort.
But yeah, Short, one of those guys that we talked so much about in that first set. Haven't seen him, getting him back in here now, doing some good work.
Pellichatti goes behind the back for Florek. He's going to sail that one long. And that's another point, 3 in a row now for the Rustlers, who've cut this lead from 7 to 4. And what I've liked from this Rustlers squad is that when they start finding themselves struggling, they're able to bring in other players, and it just doesn't really, they're able to bring energy when they make those substitutions in, as Short does send that serve long.
Yeah, like what we were saying with the Trojans earlier, how they feel like they weren't getting beaten down like in those second and third set. It doesn't even look like the Rustlers here are too worried that they're behind. They might be thinking they're ahead at the moment with some of the play that we're seeing and the energy that's being brought right now.
Big denial as the Nets' second chance now. Lobato off the hands and down. Points up to the sky as he gets that point.
The Brazilian bringing in that Brazilian spice there on that one, getting it past. Ooh, so beautiful right there.
Yeah, lead back down to 4. Just gotta wait for the scoreboard here to be updated.
That pesky scoreboard sometimes.
It's got a mind of its own tonight, I tell you, Brendan.
Yeah, that it does. And, you know, just at the perfect times for us, you know, if it's not one thing in some games, whether a net falling off of the hinges in hockey, scoreboard not wanting to work, hearing on the floor that people are calling timeout, but nothing happening, so. Scoreboard went from 19 to 13 to now 19 to 15.
Yeah, I believe there's still some confusion. It should be 18 to 15. No, 19 to 15. Yeah, it should be a 4-point game at the moment. But both teams are going to try to figure it out. But while we are figuring that out, let's give some love to our broadcast crew tonight. Of course, we got David, we got Jackie, we got Simon on the camera work here tonight.
Our lovely producer Robin doing a great job as always.
Of course, we love Rob.
Ethan Montague, our PA announcer here, normally in my position, but was luckily enough allowing me to come in and do some volleyball. Normally, I am the SAIT Trojans hockey guy. So, nice little switch of pace for me here in this environment.
Absolutely. Looks like we finally got things sorted out. The score is 18 to 14.
Took a minute, but we got there. And I think we're all happy that we did finally get there.
Absolutely. Lobato now on serve. Good save by Zachary. Tice off the hands. Lobato just stays alive as it doesn't touch the ceiling. Free ball now. Pellicciati goes near side. Tice up and over. He throws the knuckler. Goes with the changeup. Drops to the ground. Love that.
That was a thing of beauty. You thought he was coming in with a fastball, but he was like, nope, change up.
The finger poke of doom right there. Just going up and over and finding the open court.
You should coin that phrase. And unfortunately for the Trojans, after an excellent play, we hype it up a little bit too much. And of course, we have to allow, due to the commentator's curse, give the other team a point back on that.
Hey, it happens. It's inevitable.
It happens.
Aiden Mayer now, he's going to check out, and coming back in is going to be number 9, Ian Cousin. Not the first time they've brought him in specifically to come in and serve.
Yeah, we've seen him earlier and does a good job there. Brings a nice little balance of speed and power.
You know that you said that he's going to hit this into the net, right? Oh my goodness, it actually happened. That is another service error by the Rustlers. Literally as I called it, I can't believe that actually happened.
Trojans are on fire with that tonight.
Trojans back up 5.
Brett, what is it about you and me when we get into a booth together, we are just able to call situations of going, and this is where, just because we've said something nice, it's gonna go wrong.
Pellicciati on serve now, gonna send that one in. And fanning on the kill attempt, unfortunately for the Rustlers, is Nelson, as just getting his wires crossed there with Lane Blight. Extends the Trojans' lead up to 6 here as we enter the late stages of set number 4, 21 to 15. Trojans 4 points away from the set.
Boy, oh boy, has this been an exciting one tonight here at lovely Rally Point. We are very gracious for them allowing us to use these facilities while SAIT Campus Center is currently being renovated.
And of course, Pellicciati there hits that one into the net, and that's going to be a point now for the Rustlers, cutting that lead back down to 5. And yes, of course, Rally Point, the home of Trojans volleyball here for the next potentially 3 or more years while the campus center being renovated in Calgary. Tice now to Pellicciati, sends that one across. Florek goes off speed, kept alive. Bjorkus two-hands it into the back box there and finds the court, gets the point, and Bjorkus cuts the lead to 4.
And you know what? Again, like what we were saying earlier, Lakeland doesn't believe that they're out of this set. They are playing as if they already have a lead.
It is not over till it's over. Everybody knows that one. And Blight now on serve. He's going to send that one in. Pellicciati goes near side. Florek does catch the line. Oh, excuse me, it goes off a hand. It's a touch by the Rustlers. But one way or another, the point goes for the Trojans, who are now 3 away from sending this one to a 5th and decisive set.
Boy, oh boy, with how this game has gone, it really could only end in a 5th set, wouldn't it?
You'd have to think so with how competitive this one's been, but Tice's serve goes long, cutting that lead back down to 4. Rustlers, though, gonna need to get something going on their serve if they want to get back into this 4th set. And what better person, if you are Lakeland, to try and get yourself back into this one?
His new nickname, the Trojan Horse, because of how much damage he's been able to do against the SAIT Trojans. Again.
Karios this time, though, controls it. Zachary goes off speed. Beautiful diving save by Blight. Second chance by Bjorkus, denied at the net by Florek, who once again gets the better of his European counterpart. And the Trojans now back up to a 5-point lead.
Karios now going out of the game, and we have a timeout called by Lakeland. My, oh my, this has been quite the game.
This has been something, and I'm so glad that I was here to call it tonight with you. And of course, volleyball fans, Trojans fans, we're going to be back here at Valley Pointe tomorrow night for another doubleheader as these SAIT Trojans going to play host to another Northern Division team in the Keano College Huskies. 6 o'clock for the women's game, 8 o'clock for the men's. You're going to want to check that out right here on ACAC TV.
Yeah, also tomorrow we have the SAIT men's Trojans team going up again, having another phenomenal game. Obviously, they're currently up 7-3 the last time that we have been updated on that score. That team has looked phenomenal this year. Very different looking team. Boy, oh boy, am I excited to see what they're capable of doing.
Of course, you and I and the rest of the Trojans couldn't be here without the brilliant work done by the Trojans athletics department, all the hardworking people who work for the Trojans athletics, and of course, our fearless leader, Wade Colmo, who's taken up the night off watching the game from home. So how's it going, Wade? Glad to have you watching.
And honestly, out of everyone here tonight, you and I have the easy job.
Locks tries to put that one away. Diving stop by Bjorkus. Labato denied at the net. Second chance. Labato again, this time throws it over, and it's easily controlled by the Trojans. Zachary, he's denied at the net, and it's a big stop by Declan Mercer, who just enters the match and gets a huge, huge block for the Rustlers, cutting this lead back to 4.
Boy, oh boy, this game has just been something else. This set, it feels like we've been in this set forever.
Florek tries to paint the back line.
Just unable to connect there. So close. Just unfortunately not able to get it.
The Rustlers refusing to go away in this 4th set. 3-point set here. Trojans 2 away from sending it to a 5th. Chatty goes to Zachary again, goes off speed, but it's kept alive.
Zachary doing a little bit of a change-up on that one.
Mercer's attempt dug out, but another great defensive effort. This time is from number 14, Aiden Mayer. Don't look now, it is a 2-point set. Lakeland battling back late. Coach Suni has got to call timeout.
And you know what? This place is getting hyped up in this building here. We love to see it. Great audience here today, great fans showing a lot of support for these two clubs. Obviously, Lakeland coming all the way down from Lloydminster, having to make quite the journey in what was not ideal road conditions, as Alberta has had quite the interesting week weather-wise over the last couple of days.
Absolutely, you're right here. The weather has been less than ideal. I'm glad that it's kind of cleared up as they had to make a long trip here, obviously from Lloydminster, from the border town. And now we see that we've got a great game on our hands here. Trojans trying to send it to this 5th set. And it's been an absolute pleasure to watch these two teams go at it.
Two teams that are just fighting their hearts out for a win. And both teams that know they kind of need to get a win, because both of them are looking at each other going, you know what, you might not be at the top. This is a great way for us to get a lot of momentum. Both teams, I think, regardless of the outcome, are going to be walking away happy because of how good both teams have played tonight.
And my favorite part about calling volleyball this season here at Rally Point is just the fact that out of any of the sports we have called in the ACAC, this is by far where we see the best fans show up, the most fans show up, and the energy that I feel being up here in the crowd has just been phenomenal, and I'm so happy I get to be a part of it with the SAIT Trojans.
We are not even 5 feet away from the fans here, so it's great to have them standing right beside us. And a beautiful, beautiful kill by the Trojans to just get them so close to putting that to a 5th set here.
Florek going cross court, finding the back corner. 3 now set points for the Trojans. They look to set it to a 5th and decisive set. Florek,
you know,
now
the Trojans right now, their heartbeats are racing at this moment, trying to make sure this game can go to the 5th, and they are able to get it. We are going to a 5th set here, Brett. My, oh my.
The double touch from Mason Short, gift wrapping the 4th set to the Trojans, who faced a little adversity. Lakeland nearly came all the way back, got back to within 2, but then Florek, after that timeout, able to turn the tides with that big kill, and then an unforced error by the Rustlers, sending this one to a 5th and decisive set.
So obviously, when we do decide, or when we do go to those 5th sets here, we only go to a maximum score of 15.
Still got to win by 2, though, of course.
Still got to win by 2, yes, but with how close these 2 games have been, getting all the way up to those 20 points, it kind of feels like both teams might be saying to each other, hey, are you sure we can't go to that 25, because of how close it has been throughout that middle portion. And boy, oh boy, this final set, I'm excited to watch this because it is going to be electric.
And when you are playing a 5th set tiebreak like this, and it's only the 15, the biggest key that I have noticed from watching any 5th set is that unforced errors and service errors are that much more costly because you do not have the time to make up that deficit in a 5th set.
Yeah, and one thing that we have seen a lot from both of these teams in all the sets is some of those errors. And so both of the coaching staffs are saying whatever you do, try your hardest to just play smart, play cautiously. Because nobody really wants to allow the advantage point to go to the other squad.
Exactly, and for how good both of these teams have been on the defensive side of the net this season, with their ability to come up with blocks, just getting those serves in is going to be so key for both teams right now.
And for now, the 3rd time tonight, I'm going to switch the sports analogy that I use, going from first boxing to football. Now I'm going to switch it up to a little bit of Formula One. I know you and I are both big F1 guys. It's really felt like today, it's just been 2 drivers that are constantly with each other, in a DRS zone, trying to play a little DRS chicken with each other. It has just been constantly back and forth. And if you are a follower of F1, you've seen those moments of Charles Leclerc driving for Ferrari and Max Verstappen for Red Bull play some of these games against each other. And we have seen that type of battle between these 2 teams today.
All right, we are just about ready here for the 5th and final set. We got the Trojans here lined up at the sidelines. Looks like we've got Pellicciati, Tice, Zachary, Florek, Spencer Locks, and Josh Crane out for the Trojans. And it looks like Carrios ready to check in here as he's going to for Tice, so that he can receive this serve. While on the other end here, we got a bit of a mixed bag of players we have seen plenty of and players we haven't seen too much of. We've got Bjorkus, Blight, Labato, Mayer, Mercer, and Short out there for the Rustlers. Pellicciati's going to get things going here for the Trojans. Let's see if we can just focus on just getting these serves in.
Pellicciati doing so good that last set on those serves was a key point in their victory in that last one. Let's see what he can do to open this one up.
Good solid serve there, gets that one in. They go wide. Labato denied at the net. Florek gets the D, gets the block, sends it right down.
Nothing more you can say there. He was just in a perfect position there to get that block, and it just worked out for him perfectly.
Florek must be getting ready for Canadian Thanksgiving because he absolutely just stuffed him.
You mean American Thanksgiving? We've already had Canadian.
Oh yeah, that's right, American Thanksgiving. My apologies. That's such a good line and I ruined it as Labato gets the brilliant kill there, scoring the point to get one back. Or excuse me, it appears as if he didn't win the point. It looks like there was an infraction called on the play by the chair.
Bjorkus definitely calling over there. He was not happy with that call. And yeah, from our vantage point, it looked like Lakeland got that point, and
I'm not 100% sure what the call is. Coach Dyer sending Blight back over to have a conversation with the chair.
Yeah, you and I, again, we're still very new to the sport, so we're not necessarily able to give the best call here, and I would love to have necessarily a little listen into what that conversation there at the chair was.
Not 100% sure, but either way, The Rustlers got to feel like they have one stolen away from them, but they're going to get one back. And they look at how pumped up they are as Mercer gets the huge kill.
And the sideline for Lakeland lit up. My, oh my, that was ear-piercing with how happy they were and pumped up.
Especially after you got to feel like you got a little bit cheated there and lost that point, to come back and win the next one. I mean, what a confidence boost right now, as it's now 2-1 in favor of the Trojans.
Without a doubt, massive, massive confidence boost.
Florek denied at the net, second chance. Bit of a scramble there. It's sent out wide to Jackson. Tice goes off speed. Short had that one covered though, and Lobato off the body and down. And he does a little dance there as he ties this fifth set up at 2.
And again, with only 15 points you have to get to in this, every single point means just that little bit more here. And in such a close, tight game, both teams are doing such a great job. And unfortunately, Lakeland
sends that one right into the net, gift wrapping a point and the lead back to the Trojans.
One of the things that we talked about in that little intermission there is trying to limit the amount of errors, and that one, you know he wants back, because that is such a devastating one to have, especially in what is such a already close game.
And after 2 big points, they had that momentum and they got to feel like they lost it. And the kill attempt from short goes long, and the luck coming through twice there for the Trojans, as that serve from Tice bounced off the top of the netting there, came over, and then the kill attempt goes long.
Yeah, they got lucky on that one, but again, like what you said in that first game, you got to be good to be lucky, and you got to be lucky to be good.
Tice with a big serve. Willick does a good job to keep it alive. Bjorkus, though, has to go off speed. And now a chance for the Trojans the other way. Zachary off the hands. Kept alive by Lakeland. Lobato, far side. Zachary doing a good job to cover that off speed, but it's a double hit there from Pellicciati. And that is another unforced error in this fifth set, and the lead is down to 1. Mason Short to serve here for the Rustlers.
We just knew that this final set, it was going to be a 1-point difference, and it honestly feels like it's probably going to be that way all the way to the end of this game.
Absolutely. Pellicciati does a good job to send it back. Zachary just has to throw it over. Lobato straight into the net as he just mistimes the kill.
Lobato not able to bring that little bit of spice there, just can't quite get in, running into the net there, but.
And that is absolutely, that shows why you never give up on the play. Zachary from a bad angle just threw it over, and an unforced error the other way gives Trojans a 2-point lead. Kept alive again. Zachary, he's denied at the net by Mayer.
Boy, oh boy, do we have a game on our hands here today.
Trojans doing a good job of staying in front here in this fifth set, but Lakeland, much like in the fourth, refusing to go away, keeping this one close. Lobato now, the 5th year, on serve for Lakeland.
We couldn't have asked for a better game here.
Absolutely not. Karros diving for the save. Locks denied at the net, and Mayer back-to-back denials ties up this game and this fifth set at 5.
Yeah, Mayer, a guy that we talked a lot about so far in this game today. Not in the last set particularly, but finally getting back in here and allowing these last 2 points coming towards Lakeland.
Pellicciati goes behind the back for Florek. He's denied. Second chance. He gets the finish. Florek never giving up on the play.
Florek bringing in some Polish spice there. My, oh my. That was a kill.
I love to see him come back after getting denied the first time and just locate and get the finish on the second chance.
Yeah, great effort there. That's what you love to see.
And it is Gabriel Bjorkus coming right back for the Rustlers.
Again, a little bit more quiet in the opening part of this set, and from what felt like most of last set, good to see him get another point up on the board.
6-all here in the final deciding set. Timeout called by Coach Sunius of the Trojans. And man, you can just feel the tension here.
You could cut it with a knife. That is how thick it is in here. And we have had ourselves a game. Honestly, in our time together calling games, this might be one of the best games we have worked together, just with how competitive and tight it has been. Hockey, soccer, basketball, whatever. This has been such an enjoyable game.
This has easily been the most fun I've had calling a game here in ACAC action.
Without a doubt.
And of course, a big part of that is the energy that we have being part of this great crowd here in Calgary, between all of the families and friends who have both come to visit and support their SAIT Trojans, and who also made the long trip from Lloydminster to support their Lakeland Rustlers.
Yeah, and boy, oh boy, again, we really show a lot of props to Lakeland getting down here from Lloydminster during what has just been terrible weather here in Alberta, and the fact that they've had to make such a long drive and show the heart that they have today is impressive.
Mayer now, who's building off those 2 consecutive blocks. Pellicciati now for Zachary. He gets it off the hands and gets the point to put the Trojans back ahead.
Boy, oh boy, we just have this feeling. I don't think there's going to be a commentator curse on this one, but this one is just going to be a close game all the way up into the end.
Mayer checks out for the Rustlers. Maybe having him not at that net presence on that point was the big difference between getting the kill and getting the block. Bjorkus goes off speed, covered by Tice. Good job. Trying to throw it straight down was Pellicciati, but he throws it straight down into the net. We're all even up at 7s apiece.
Wow, oh wow. This could not be closer. We thought the other sets were close, but this one is, you get a point. Now you get a point. Now you get a point. We're all getting points here tonight.
Blight now on serve. They send it out. Tice goes off speed, covered by Blight. Denied at the net. Second chance, Bjorkus. He's covered by Florek. And the kill from Tice straight off the hands of Mercer and down. Trojans back up by 1. And Brendan, what I've been seeing a lot in this 5th set is both teams defensively, they're covering that off-speed changeup.
Yes, they are, and both good defensive teams. One of the things we've talked so much about is that lack of offense. Seeing as they're both good defensive teams, it's really nice to see that they're bringing this in and they're both really working here. And unfortunately, that ball just goes right into the roof. And again, tie game, 8-8.
8-all as Short sends that one right into Spencer Locks, who did a good job to get his body in front of it, but so much power on it, sends it straight up into the rafters. Karios checks back in here, and it is Gabriel Bjorkus on serve. He's going
just
big.
So much power.
And it bounces off the stanchion, and for the first time in this 5th set, the Lakeland Rustlers find themselves ahead 9-8. As you know, we said just make sure you get those serves in there. Bjorkus says, yeah, no, I'm gonna go full power.
Yeah. Obviously, we've talked about him all game long, just being just a thorn in the side, and kind of felt like his last few serves have been a little bit lacking with power. He's full on it right now, and again, oh my goodness, the power is coming right there. It is on full display, and right now, it's starting to feel like Lakeland is, the pendulum is moving a little bit more towards their side.
10-8 now the score. Bjorkus continuing to be the X factor.
Boy, oh boy, has this been just an exciting game.
That one sails long. He threw it, I noticed that from our spot, he threw it a little bit too far ahead of himself, but I think that was the hardest hit volleyball I've ever seen in my life.
That was a blink and you'll miss it type of a hit.
Trojans cut the lead back down to 1. Pellicciati to serve. Crucial that they tie this game back up. They're gonna go down the middle, and this time Mercer goes off speed, and it works. 11-9, now the score for the Rustlers.
At what point do you start to think about potentially calling a timeout if you're SAIT?
I think it's something you really gotta consider right now, but we'll see as Ian Cousin once again comes in specifically to serve for Lakeland, up 2 here in the dying moments of this match. 11-9 in the 5th and deciding set.
Boy, oh boy, do we have a game on hand.
Pellichatty sending it. Florek denied, second chance. Florek again. This time, thinks he gets the finish, but Bjorkus able to keep it alive. Free ball. Tice sails it wide as he gets underneath it.
Tice maybe just trying to do too much there on that one. Maybe not hitting quite as clean as he would have liked.
Just mistimed his jump just a little bit, and he got his hand underneath the ball, which forced it to go sailing long. And now, the Rustlers with the largest lead of this fifth set, 3 points, 3 away from the match.
Yeah, and great call timeout there. Obviously, right before the previous rally, we were talking about when is it going to be a good time to call a timeout for the SAIT Trojans. And obviously, after that last rally, they're like, okay, you know what? We're going to take the step back here, try to cool things down, try to slow the pace. My, oh my, what do you think the SAIT Trojans need to do to tie this game back up?
I think they just got to get back to what they were doing well earlier on in the set, which is just, I mean, just to feel that more confident play right now. They seem a little unsure, and I think their biggest issue is that they haven't been controlling the serves as cleanly as they were earlier on. And when they aren't able to control the serves cleanly, they aren't able to get their set up, and then it leads to a poor offensive possession.
Yeah, boy oh boy, now that the minute timeout has come to an end, Trojans out there, they are looking hype, but you know Lakeland is coming in with a lot of swagger, a lot of confidence. Let's see what they're going to be able to do here.
Crane back out there for the Trojans, a very defensive looking setup here as they look to receive this serve from Ian Cousin, who has done a good job of coming in and doing his job, as just putting in some good serves. Florek denied by the net. And that is a 4-touch, and that is another point for Lakeland, who are now up 13-9, 2 away from taking home a big victory on the road. And yeah, Cousin again.
These last few rallies, they have just looked like the little bit more confident team out there.
Pellichatty goes behind the back. Tice. Nice kill to get a huge point back for the Trojans to cut the lead to 3.
That is a nice way to bring a little bit more confidence back into this team. Obviously, they're going to have to play excellently here to get this game within, or get this game back to being a tie.
Willick back into the match to take this serve, to receive the serve from Tice. It's a good one. They meet at the net, and the point goes for the Trojans, as I believe the Lakeland player at the net crossed over and touched before the ball came across. And a timeout called by Coach Dyer as we are back down to a 2-point match, and this has been just an absolute treat to watch for sports fans.
Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I could keep going saying back and forth another 50 times, and that wouldn't feel like it would be doing it justice either. My, oh my, if you are a volleyball fan, this is the game that you love to see. And you know what? For us, boy oh boy, are we excited to watch this one.
We'll see what kind of look the Rustlers bring out here, coming out to receive this serve. Try to hopefully set up something for offense if you are the visiting Rustlers, while the Trojans just got to keep looking to build up this momentum and not let the timeout affect you. And if you're Jackson Tice about to take the serve, do you go big again, or do you just try to just get it in?
I think you have to try to go get it in. With Tice, there's been a few times when he's tried to do his serve that he's tried to do a little too much with it. Trust your defense. That's what I think he has to do right now, not to do anything too fancy,
and that is a nice serve.
Like he did.
Lobato denied at the net. Second chance, Lobato again. Big stig by Tice. They go cross court, Zachary denied, but it's out, and it's another Trojans point, and they've cut the lead down to 1.
Exactly what we need to see from Tice there on that serve, put it exactly where it is, and boy oh boy, if we had heart rate monitors on for this one, I'm sure they would be spiking right now.
Huge defensive effort there by Jackson Tice to keep this one alive. 1-point game, but that serve's gonna hit the net and drop. 14-12 now in favor of the Rustlers. It is match point. They have got 2 opportunities now to put this game away. Mason Short to serve.
And in that first set that we saw, which felt so long ago, he was so good at the serving, getting just a little kiss over top.
Zachary, his kill denied, kept alive. Mason Short, kept alive by Karios. It doesn't hit the stanchion, but the referee calls it, and it's a 2-touch. And unfortunately for your SAIT Trojans, that is going to do it. And the visiting Lakeland Rustlers come into Calgary, come to Rally Point, and they are going to take a clean sweep against the SAIT Trojans. And for this Rustlers team, they're going to improve to 3-4 on the season, and that is going to put them right back in the playoff picture.
And unfortunately for the SAIT Trojans, this puts them at a 1-4. But boy, oh boy, you cannot walk away with this game with your head held low. This was a game, honestly, potentially match of the year type game that we saw here today.
Absolutely, and a barn burner if I've ever seen one. And we're gonna head down now to the player of the games. Ethan Montague, our PA announcer, gonna call him out here. And I mean, if it's me, I gotta go with, I'm gonna go with both the Europeans, Florek and Bjorkis.
Both just unbelievable players. But heading down over to Ethan.
Gabriel Bjorkis, player of the game. No surprise there, the absolute X factor for this team.
It honestly felt getting a little lost there, getting a little turned around.
Yeah, I forgot where he was going to receive his player of the game award there. I mean, I'll take it. I mean, I'll take getting one thing right tonight, and that is the fact that, Philip Florek, named player of the game for the Trojans. He came up big in those 4th and 5th sets, and he was their best player down the stretch.
Without a doubt. And the commentator curse, we did not curse on that one, which is something that we like to do so much.
Like I said, for the visiting Lakeland Rustlers here, they're going to come into Calgary, get a big win to move to 3-4 on the season, which is going to put them right back in that title hunt and snap that 4-game losing streak for the Trojans. A 1-4 record now, which is going to put them in a must-win situation tomorrow when they face the Keano College Huskies. We're going to have another doubleheader for you tomorrow night right here at Rally Point, live on ACAC TV. And we will see you tomorrow night.